So we are ready for our introductions. Well, actually, because the clerk treasurers are always going to go last, we're going to let them go first. So we'll let you two folks get up there. So we have two candidates for clerk treasurer in the town of Winona Lake. Introducing you first, Mrs. Retha Hicks.
The specific duties of a clerk treasurer are defined by the Indiana Code. No other elected municipal duties are as clearly defined. The clerk treasurer is responsible for the overall collection and disbursement of funds, the administration of the accounting system, the signing of checks, the preparation of periodic financial reports, and serves as the investment officer. I answer directly to you, the resident, and represent the entire community, not a specific group or entity. I am the checks and balance for the integrity of our local community. I serve on the board of directors for the Indiana Association of Cities and Towns and several IAC committees. I was an officer in the Indiana League of Municipal Clerks and Treasurers, and I serve on the education committee for both of these organizations. I serve on the Trust Indiana Advisory Committee for State Treasurer Richard Murdoch, a man of honesty and integrity, and I have the utmost respect for Mr. Murdoch. Winona Lake's capital budget was in the red by $254,000, and the council gave $20,000 from the sale of a truck to a department's private bank account instead of receiving the money into the town's general fund. The general fund is funded by taxpayers' dollars, and that is the fund that paid for that vehicle, the fund that needs to cover the capital budget deficit. We received a fixed assets report from Severn Trent, which demonstrates the wastewater needs to cover $521,000 in capital needs in 2011. The wastewater budget that is $40,000 short in revenue to cover the bare bones wastewater budget. 20 seconds. The town receives $35,000 a year in revenue for the administration of a $540,000 federal grant. I'll finish it later.
Thank you, Mrs. Hicks. The other candidate for clerk treasurer of the town of Winona Lake, Mr. Ken Adams.
Okay. Are we ready for that 2 minutes? Okay. First of all, Silent No More, thank you very much for us being here tonight and for all of you folks being here, because we've got to get more people involved in what our country is all about. I'm seeking this position to work cooperatively and in support of the town council, which is the policy-making body for the betterment of the community and the public trust we serve. I think I have a proven track record of serving the citizens of our community and the great state of Indiana. This office is a public trust and it's funded by public tax dollars. And to me, this encompasses providing accurate and timely information and reports to the town council, allowing them to carry out their statutory duties and responsibilities. I think with my diverse background, serving as Kosciusko County Treasurer, I was in the Indiana General Assembly for some 16 years, Senate Finance, House Ways and Means, and then also a Chief Financial Officer in 3 major area public school corporations. I think I'm familiar working with large budgets, studying the issues, and most importantly, listening to all parties. This will be especially important, I think, over the course of the next few years as local city unit governments attempt to provide the services and the needs, meet the needs of our local citizens, because we all know the economy is tightening up and will remain so. One of the things that I want to do is provide fiscal application of all the public tax dollars that come in to this office, as well as the use of those, I should say, in the use of those public tax dollars. I feel I'm qualified, and I would say to you that I think my candidacy this year offers voters, for the first time in 18 years, a choice. Thank you. Made it.
1, we have 2 candidates on the Republican ticket. We'll begin with Mr. Dan Daggett.
Good evening, my name is Dan Daggett. I just realized that Phil is taller than I am, so I'll have to discuss that with him here a little bit. We're both running for Ward 1 here in Winona Lake. When I started talking to people about running for office, a lot of times people would ask why, and a pretty simple answer. I felt called to do it. A lot of conversations with people I hold close and really trust their guidance, and a lot of prayer. And it was a way for me to give back to a community that my children have grown up in, that we've called home now for 7 years. I love the direction that the community is going. It's growing, the tax base is growing, and that's a good thing. I know that from my point of view, this is the first time I've ever run for political office. It's a fresh perspective for me. It's been a great learning experience, and I think I can bring new insight, different ideas, a different point of view to the Winona Lake Town Council. There's a bright future out there for Winona Lake. We just have to keep moving in the right direction, and I'd like to be somebody who helps do that. Thank you.
The other candidate in Ward 1, Mr. Phil Hood.
Good evening, my name is Philip Hood. I am running for Ward 1 of the Winona Lake Town Council. I'm a lifetime resident of Winona Lake. My wife Kami and I raised our 4 children here, 8, 6, 4, and 2. So thank you for having us at 7 o'clock. Gave me time to put my kids to bed and eat a nice meal. I've looked for ways to get involved in the community through the years, and I believe it's important for the younger generation to get involved. One of the ways I get involved through my employer, Medtronic. I work out of 30 there. I work with a group, it's Mission in Motion. What we do is we work with local organizations like Combined Community Services, United Way, and we do service projects and raise funds for them. I believe there's things in the community that we have going for us very well. The Greenway, we have a lot of great churches here. Of course, we have the lake. And I think we have all those issues or opportunities that we have to improve on those. And I think it's an opportunity for residents of Winona Lake to renew their mind, body, and spirit. I believe it's important for us to work with Warsaw, where most of us are employed, Grace Village, Winona Restoration, Grace College, to foster relationships and grow those relationships. I'm just looking to help and contribute to the community and serve the community and make this a place for my children, like I did grow up. I feel comfortable and welcome and call us home from day one. I've never left and I don't plan to, only on vacation. So I encourage you to go out and vote on May 3rd. And again, my name is Philip Hood. Thank you.
In Ward 2, we have 2 candidates on the Republican ticket. We'll begin with Mr. Terry Howie.
Good evening, I'm Terry Howie. I've lived here since 1964 when I came here as a Grace College student. I retired from the Winona Lake Fire Police Department and was also on the fire department, and I've owned a successful business for 39 years. I was elected to this town council in 2007. This council has pursued many initiatives, including establishing a fire prevention bureau, paving Pearson Road, resolving the 250 East Road issue at the railroad tracks, researching and reallocating funds within our budget to utilize monies properly, voting no to the fire territory, which saved an additional tax levy of approximately $400,000 plus. Also, we are pursuing the Stonehenge Street issue. We have never stopped doing that, and we will continue to do that until we resolve the issue out there. And contrary to what my opponent said, the legal fees were not $30,000, but a little less than $15,000. Continually improving the lake, which you can see out there is flooding right now, is one of our things that we want to do. We want to partner with the different organizations here in Winona Lake, Winona Lake Preservation Association, Grace College and our Streams and Water, and also IDEM and the DNR. I've seen our town grow over the years with the addition of Lakeland Christian Academy, Grace Village, the Village at Winona, and Grace Schools. This council has provided an open door to all you citizens. Valuing your input We have gone out of our way to include you in our discussions. We are utilizing your public dollars to better the community and make decisions affecting all of you citizens. I look forward to wisely serving all of you as we oversee your tax dollars in a planned and common sense manner.
The other candidate in Ward 2, Mr. John Bowl.
I want to say thank you for Silent No More giving us the opportunity to be here this evening. It's a real privilege. My name is John Bowl. My wife Lynn, my kids Hannah and Jesse all live here in Winona Lake, obviously in Ward 2. 10 years ago, Dr. Manahan and I, Susie Light, sat down around the conference table and asked this question. What would our region, what would Grace College look like if the orthopedics left? The results of that question that we sat around led to the building of the Orthopedic Capital Center, a $10 million facility for Winona Lake residents. It also led to a $7 million invested by Lilly Endowment into our community. As I was preparing to run and thinking about running, I asked myself the same question today. What would Winona Lake look like if the orthopedic companies left? Fortunately, Lilly invested in BioCrossroads and they produced this report. And in this report, what I believe needs to happen in Winona Lake is our addressing what this report has asked us to do. Let me read from page 41 as I clearly outline my vision for Winona Lake is outlined here. It talks about community enhancements. It says this on page 41, cultural and recreation amenities are critical to the overall vitality of the region and can enhance or inhibit the industry's ability to recruit and retain talent. An actual or perceived lack of amenities can act as an impediment to recruiting and retaining the top talent and the talented families in which those individuals reside. My first piece from this document says this: we must finish the Greenway project for the Winona Lake residents. It's what the industry needs for us to do out to Stonehenge, down to the village. Great economic opportunities to draw those folks into the village. The second thing is to work closely with the Winona Preservation Society and the class, Kosciusko Lakes and Streams at Grace College, Dr. Nate Bosch, working with them to partner to take care of our most precious resource that we have in the community, so that our community will remain attractive for people to come, live, and work here. The third thing is, I'm done.
Two Republican candidates in Ward 3. We will begin with Mr. Bruce Schaffner.
Good evening. I'm Bruce Schaffner of Winona Lake, and I'm running for the re-election of Town Council, Ward 3. I'm presently a member of that and also the Winona Lake Planning Commission. I'm running for the Town Council because our town needs leaders who are professional and who understand the issues, who have a heart for serving this community. As a local business owner for over the past 30 years, I understand the need for government to work with local businesses to foster that growth. I will build on my record as a successful businessman by helping find common sense solutions to the issues that affect each member of our community. I'm proud to call Winona Lake my home. I'm passionate about the work the council is doing to prepare for the future. Partnerships between the public and private sectors and government institutions are key to understanding and resolving issues in this community. I believe by nurturing the relationships that the council shares with the people and the businesses of Winona Lake, we can create that environment, which is good. Strong partnerships create a foundation for growth, and growth Winona continues to need. I will work with the council to strengthen the relationship between the town residents, the village at Winona, Grace College, the fire department, the police department, and the Parks and Recreation. As a business owner, though, I do understand the responsibility that comes along in signing a check, balancing a budget, and knowing where to make cuts, where to save, and also where to grow. My approach has always been simple: spending cannot exceed the income. I'm hoping, if re-elected, to look towards the future and planning of our anticipated needs that are for this community, such things like our infrastructure and equipment. I always look forward as we continue to develop more of the Greenway initiatives that's also very important to this community. We have a unique community that our tax dollars are limited, and I would like for us to continue to seek more business and industries for this community, not only for the tax dollars, but for the growth of Winona Lake. Thank you.
The second individual in Ward 3 is Mr. Jerry Nelson.
I'd like to thank Silent No More also for hosting the event, and I'm a candidate for Ward 3, Town Council. And just for clarification, in case everybody doesn't know, Winona Lake, you vote for all 5 council members. So just please remember that even though you may not have a horse in the race, you may want to affect another candidate's election. Let me tell you about Jerry Nelson. I've been around Winona Lake for many, many years and know the town very well. I have 3 degrees. I have a law degree, an MBA, and an engineering degree. And I was a CEO of 2 different 200-bed hospitals. I'm used to operating large, complex organizations with multiple employees dealing with multi-million-dollar budgets. But I think the most important question that I hope each of the candidates get asked at some point is, why are you running? Why am I running? Well, I think when somebody runs for Winona Lake, and they should have a good reason. Mine is my opponent. The first time I saw Bruce Schaffner at a meeting was in the early fall when he was being sworn in and was going to start getting paid to attend the meetings. I've been attending for 6 years. That's the first time I've seen him take it. I heard him make a comment at one of these meetings that basically it took him time to get up to speed. Certainly it will. If you haven't attended meetings, you wouldn't know what was going on. I think there's an opportunity in the council to affect everyone. And the reason, as we look at it, and I hear people talk about Grace College, very nice organization, Grace Village, very nice, the Village at Winona, very excellent organization, okay? But really, as a candidate for this office, my most important person is the people paying the bills. You, the citizens of Winona Lake, that vote for and support us with your taxes as a council member. So if you pay attention, just remember when you're voting, you want somebody that is going to be a council member that represents you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. In Ward 4, again, another contested race. Thank you for doing that. We will start with Mrs. Sue Gooding.
Well, I guess I'm shorter than I thought. Good evening. My name is Sue Gooding, your Ward 4 representative and your town council president. Tonight, I'd like to share with you my thoughts about the future. First, I want to continue our commitment to our wonderful greenway. Phases 4 and Phases 5 have been designed and are scheduled for construction in 2012 and 2013. I want to continue to focus on ways to minimize our harmful impact on Winona Lake and on our parklands. We need to make a conscious effort to keep our lake healthy for the enjoyment of generations to come. A few months ago, I revitalized our redevelopment commission, and we have discovered that we have over $400,000 to spend on projects in the TIF district. We are presently working on a large project to examine all of our sewer systems in order to find and fix problems before they arise. We will see Stonehenge and Murfield Village projects completed. The Stonehenge work on the sewers has already started. I want to review all of our neighborhoods so that we can determine their needs and begin the process of their street revitalizations before they become eyesores. But I need you. My plan for the future requires your participation. My plan is actually your plan. I am here as your representative to carry out the projects and ideas and good decisions on your behalf. I need you to come to the meetings. I need you to call us your representatives. I need you to share your voices and your visions. But most of all, if we want to continue to make Winona Lake great, I need your vote. Your community will be better for it.
And the other candidate in Ward 4.
Hold your applause.
Mr. Greg Wynn.
Town council can be a very time-consuming and sometimes unpopular position. And that's why I wanted to start off right off by saying, Sue, thank you. And Terry, thank you. And Bruce, and Randy, and Joy, for your time to Winona Lake in this sometimes unpopular position. I'm sure you've asked yourself, though, sometimes, why am I doing this? And I know I've been asked that question as I've been out knocking on the doors of Winona. Greg, why do you want to be on the council? Well, in our town of Winona Lake, we don't have a mayor. I see Ernie back there, I think. But we don't have a mayor. And so this group of 5 people has an incredible ability to affect the progress of our community, because these are the 5 people that are ultimately in charge. And that progress, that's what I'm excited about. I want to work with the Winona Lake Preservation to educate our community on how they can actively improve our lake. I want to work with Grace College and Nate Bosch to regularly monitor our water. I want to improve the perception of not-for-profits in our community. I want to work with Craig Olivaw to secure TE funds to complete the Greenway from Grace Fields to Lakeland Christian Academy. I want to work with Safe Routes to School to create more sidewalks. I want to work with the Kosciusko Cycling Club to create more pedestrian and bicycle-friendly streets. I want to work with Mitch, our fire chief, to come up with more incentive programs that measure his team and also save tax dollars. Our community is not short on opportunities, but that's why I'm so passionate about efficient time management. And efficient time management includes delegation. Someone shared with me that our planning commission has only met once in this last year. We need to use these committees of volunteers that are eager to help us. We need to delegate some of these responsibilities to them, because the more efficiently we use our time, the more opportunities we can see to completion. Thank you. Greg Wynn.
We have one uncontested Republican primary race, and that's in Ward 5. The incumbent, Randy Swanson, is running unopposed. He is going to have an opening and a closing statement and will selectively join in the discussion, but won't be answering all of the questions because I asked him not to because of the time. So he'll just, when he has something burning on his heart, he'll talk about that one, but we'll leave many of the questions to the contested races. So, Mr. Swanson.
It's lonely up here. When I was asked in 2000, at the end of 2008 to fill the vacated seat of Jeff Carroll by a special caucus election, I began looking forward to serving the Winona Lake folks that I've lived around all my life. I was told by several people after being put on the council that the town council of Winona Lake needed to be more than simply a rubber stamping mechanism for certain proposals that may be put forward to the council. It is my nature when a problem arises to listen carefully, look at it from a financial, analytical perspective, and then think clearly and make recommendations. Maybe not always the proposal, but certainly to consider wisely how to use the taxpayers' money. There's no better example that epitomizes what this council has done in the last 2.5 years under 2 years of leadership by Terry Howie and now by Sue Gooding. We have worked with the wastewater treatment issue. You've heard that thrown around quite a bit. Let me explain just briefly. Think with me carefully. This can be divided into 2 parts, but above all, let me assure you, your wastewater treatment situation is not only flush with wastewater, it's flush with cash. Think of it in 2 sets. There's $1.8 million almost sitting over here on this side, waiting to be used for contingencies and repairs and reinstitution of equipment. There's $44 that was being charged, 22 of which went to Warsaw to pay their sewage treatment rate. That leaves $6 for Severin Trent to administer and $4 for capital repairs and contingencies. $12 then was left to go into the Winona Lake Central Office for administration. That's $232,000. It was from that amount that we were able to reduce your wastewater fee from $44 to $36 a month, an $8 a month saving.
Thank you, Mr. Swanson.